Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 19th, 2014 Raleigh Board of Selectmen. Remind everybody that this meeting is being audio and digitally recorded. First, call the meeting order, and the first on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Bob Murray, would you lead us?
Happy to, Mr. Chairman.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. You're welcome. Chairman's comments. I have a few tonight. For the past 6 years, it's been my honor and privilege to represent the people of Raleigh. I want to thank you all for your support last week and for the many well-wishers that called or came up to me and personally wished me well. This job pays me $20 a week more than I made as a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps. Both of these jobs have been difficult, rewarding, and the most fun I've had in my life. Most of what I've applied as a selectman I learned in the Marine Corps. Well, I didn't have to fix bayonets, but there were a few meetings that I wanted, and I thought about it. Our town is in better fiscal position going forward with the bump in new growth last year. Town meeting has approved a great land purchase in the Girl Scout property, or as Bob Murray has called it, what was that?
Thumbs up.
The Thumbs Up property. And you voted for a new ladder truck, and I commend you for your soundness of thought and your foresight in this vote. One of the things I like about the people of this town is that they buy for need and utility, not because of surplus. This year marks the 375th year since our town founders first stepped upon the good soil of our town. I have thought long and hard about our 375th, and I believe that there is only one person to lead us in this year. That is Robert Murray, and I would like to place his name in nomination as chairman. And I believe, Bob, that you, as historian, and all your hard work, should be our chairman. So
I'll second that.
I'll second that too.
I'll third it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move to your seat.
Well, you know, I got thinking about this, Bob.
I won't be leaving here for a second.
And there are several agenda items tonight that we have to take care of and require signatures. And you're listed as the chairman. So if you don't mind going through those and get that last bit of business taken care of.
Oh.
If it's legal, of course.
Yeah. Is it legal? All right, I think.
It's habit. We always, well, if you want to make it effective next meeting or something, or at the end of the meeting.
I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, we have several things prepared. You brought up a good point. We had already.
If that are the wishes of the board, with a caveat.
If you want to amend it to be effective the next meeting, I'll be willing to second that, and just to make it easier, because it just doesn't matter really when.
Okay.
That'll give Bob time to practice during the week too.
I'll have to get the mirror out.
Okay, so with
You make the amendment,
make the.
I'll second it, effective next.
We
or
choose.
I think that's a great
effective at the
idea.
close of
Okay.
business
No problem.
tonight,
All
how's
right,
that?
close of business
Close
tonight?
of business, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Bob. I think that's the way.
That's very good.
Okay. I was all ready to jump over there.
You were too quick, that's,
Okay.
You scared him.
Second, we need a vice chair. So, have any?
I'll nominate Joe Perry to be vice chair.
I'll second it.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Abstain.
Okay. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Vice Chair.
My condolences, Joe.
And we need a
Clerk.
clerk. Oh, you're familiar with that job, aren't you?
Yes.
So, we have a
I'll
motion.
nominate Bob Snow.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So,
So, with that, let's get right into the agenda. We are in citizens' query as of 2 minutes ago. And we'll be until 7:15. We have an appointment at 7:15 with Jack Gunstrom to discuss aquaculture licenses. At 7:30, we have appointment with Town Administrator Deborah Egan on her performance evaluation. So, let me get my calendar out because I get lost without my calendar. And we'll get right into the meat of evening here. Just remind everybody that this meeting is being audio and video. Gee, I'm having a tough time tonight. Audio and video taped, digitally recorded. Okay. Okay, first order of business, we have proclamation for Jack Demento for his many years of dedicated service to the town. Jack Demento served this town with tireless dedication. He served on the Finance Committee and Personnel Board and enjoyed working with the staff of various special projects. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to issue a proclamation. Representatives of the Board of Selectmen can present it to Jack on Wednesday the 28th, along with Senator Harrow, who will present Jack with a state proclamation. Jack was also a former Marine, and he spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and in a very difficult position, and came out of the Marine Corps as a sergeant. And Jack worked tirelessly, going to school nights, and put himself through Northeastern. So, and I can't say enough about Jack. He's been a great friend, and I know to all of us on this board, and to the many of us in the town. So with that, could I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second it.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I met Jack at TTE when we both worked there, and I knew Jack's brother Jim was a teacher in Swampscott when I taught in Marblehead. Very nice family.
Oh. No better. Joe? Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, who would like to go up that day for the presentation?
I'm
Anybody?
hoping to be there. I'm hoping to be there.
I'll be there. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
What time is it?
10
10
o'clock?
o'clock.
I think it's 10
believe.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday morning. So, I know Senator Tar is trying to clear his schedule to try to be there. So, letter of resignation from Patrick Snow from his position of acting highway foreman in highway truck driver. Patrick Snow Patrick Snow, resigned from my position as temporary acting foreman and permanent position of truck driver and laborer with the Raleigh Highway Department. I am resigning from this position to assume the elected role of highway surveyor and tree warden. I have a motion from the board to accept the resignation.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, general business number 3, request from Highway Surveyor Patrick Snow to lift the freeze for the position of highway truck driver. Board of Selectmen, to the Board of Selectmen from Patrick Snow, request to lift the hiring freeze. Do I have a
I'll
motion?
make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll just say, Mr. Chairman, for a second, to thank Mr. Snow's in the audience tonight. Give him a hearty thanks for the work he's done this year, working with Ron and making things work and go, and congratulations on his election, and good luck. We look forward to working with you in the coming year for on a number of different projects. And wish him all the luck in the world.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to letter from the Raleigh Municipal Lighting Plant on FY14 pilot. 2014 payment in lieu of taxes to the town of Raleigh. Move the manager of the lighting, municipal lighting plant under the direction and control of municipal light board for the expenses of plant for said year, fiscal year 15, as defined in section 57 in chapter 164 of general laws, make a payment in lieu of taxes to the town of Raleigh in the amount of $27,577.70. This is signed by the commissioners. So with that,
I'll move that we accept that.
Second it.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
So, Mr. Chairman, and you have the original, there's a thank you letter to the commissioners that
Oh, yes.
we anticipated 2 abstentions, so if they could be signed by the remaining
Yes.
board members.
So, just read this. Please accept this letter as an expression of our thanks and gratitude to the Board of Light Commissioners for once again forgiving the town's obligation to pay the light department for the cost of public street lighting in the upcoming fiscal year. Your continued support for the town through the street lighting and maintenance of the lights is greatly appreciated. With sincere appreciation, and it will be signed by Joe Perry, clerk, Jack Cook, and Dave Peterson. Of course, there will be 2 abstentions because of Bob and myself serving as light commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, while we're signing that, I just want to note too, with the highway surveyor here, that they've been working in the common this week. After all the work that the light department did and the water department, and the highway department's done in the past, and they've been spreading loam and seeding, and it really looks like, really looks nice, and hopefully the grass will be up and get some, a little bit of rain like we're getting out there tonight. It'll sprout that seed, and it's gonna look really good for the 375th and
Sure is.
July 4th celebrations, things like that for the summer, so it'll really be good.
There's actually, last week had the trial court people in and cleaned up the whole common, and it's really looking nice.
Yeah, it looks like it looks fantastic out there, so thank you very much once again.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Really not possible without the 3 guys we have working down there.
No, it's been a team effort by both your department and the light department, the water department. Everybody has really put a lot of effort into it, and it's really paying off, and looks wonderful. Should be proud.
Okay, it is 7:15 again. We have an appointment with Jack Gunstrom to discuss agricultural licenses, and also to remind everyone that the citizen query is over. Okay, so with that, so last week the board voted to transfer the agricultural licenses for lots 2 and 6 from Richard Kent to Kelsey Grunstrom. The license for lot 6 had already expired. Jack Grunstrom will provide an explanation and see the attached letter from John H. Grunstrom. And these are licenses, not leases. These are, just so everyone understands. Okay, and it says, Honorable Board, please extend the expiration dates for the shellfish licenses, well, it says leases, but the licenses on Club Head Run lots 5, 6, and 7 to March 31, 2019. Also, please transfer Richard Kent's lots 2 and 6 as requested to Kelsey Gunstrom. Richard is no longer physically able to attend his lot, and Kelsey has worked with him for several years in planting and servicing and harvesting the shellfish. The expiration dates for both lots should remain the same as present dates with the extension of Lot 6. Thank you for your consideration, John H. Gunstrom, Shellfish Constable. So with that, Jack, come on up.
John's your man, he's the constable, but we'll both help if we
John and
can.
Jack, come on up.
The expiration date of the lots slipped past us. They expired actually March 31st. All of these licenses expire on March 31st, different years. And so we'd like to get them extended for the 5 years. We did have them extended 5 years ago this past year, and we'd like to get them extended for another 5 years. The second part, you got a request from Kelsey Grunstone about taking Dick Kent. Dick signed it. Dick is no longer physically able to do the work down there. Kelsey's been doing it for him for about 3 years now, so he wanted to get it turned over to her because she's very astute in what's going on down there. So generally what it's all about.
Okay. All right. Anything else, John?
No, that's about it.
Okay. All right. So we need to vote on this?
So what's the expiration date of the licenses going
The
to be?
expiration date, actually, on one of them is 3 years from now. And on number
2019?
2, it's 3 years, I think, down the line. We had them extended 5 years ago, 3 years ago for 5 years. But the other one, the subtitle lot, actually expired March 31st. We should have been here and had them extended at that time, but we missed the date.
So it's 2 lots we need
Two
to
lots
extend, one
ago.
for 2 years and one for 5 years. I'll give you that motion, Mr. Chairman, to make
Second.
those extensions.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And the transfer, that was part of it, the transfer to Kelsey Johnson, that was
We
part
did
of
that
it.
That's-
last week, right?
Yeah, we did that, yeah, that's
Last
right, we
week.
did it last week.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's already set.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. Thank
Anything
you.
else?
I also want to thank you for the board for helping us with getting Stackyard Road open.
That worked out well for us, especially this winter.
Okay, again, anything we can do for you, you know, that's,
How's the green crabs looking?
Not good.
Still not,
There's a
still
lot
no
of-
miracle cures.
Well, we
been found.
have got a lot of bait orders. A couple of guys have got some big bait orders
So
for
that's
them, which
5
helps,
years. Yeah, that was
but
kinda
nothing on the food market yet, but we're working on it.
okay.
To me, that's the big push, is to get into the food market.
So
where
you're
they're worth
collecting
something.
them now, trapping them?
I just saw the first ones the other day.
Now, usually after we have a cold, as you spoke to us before, a cold winter, usually that
Yeah.
depresses the
It didn't work,
population.
I don't think.
It didn't work this
What they're
year?
catching in Ipswich right now, it didn't work.
Really?
Or it could be
We've
worse.
just gotta catch them.
Now, Senator Tar is working very, very hard on this issue, and he's, brought it before the legislature, and,
Yeah, well, that's going through, we expect to get some money to help out with it someplace around June 20th, and we're supposed to meet with Senator Tar on June 25th to work out how we can work a program between the Division of Marine Fisheries and the fishermen and that type of thing. So-
and as I spoke to you, Jack, I spoke to Congressman Tierney
Yep.
personally,
yep,
and
yep.
informed him about the green crab issue.
Everything we can get, gentlemen.
The federal government is not as attuned as the state government
Right,
is
yeah.
to this whole problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Well,
Very well.
they have their problems,
I know, yeah.
but I have to say, both our representative and
Oh,
our state
absolutely.
senator are right on top of
Yeah.
this issue. So, again, anything this board can do.
Yep.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Jack,
gentlemen.
thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. It is 21 after the hour, 22 after the hour. We'll put this to the side, and we'll come back to it.
I had a hat when I came in.
Okay, Northeast, number 5, general business, Northeast Mass mosquito aerial application to control mosquito larvae on the salt marsh. Oh, this is the one I have to read with all the,
Mr. Chairman, I would just make an announcement of the dates and the times that they're gonna do the aerial spraying.
Well, either that or just refer to as BTI, because,
Yeah, I think that they just wanted to make sure that they ran this in the paper. If you could write, just announce the dates
Okay.
that they're gonna do the aerial.
okay, aerial spraying to control the mosquito larvae over the coastal salt marshes in Salisbury, Newburyport, Newbury, Ipswich, and Raleigh during daylight hours between May 20th, 2014 and May 30th, 2014. So be aware of that. That will, again, that will be May 20th, 2014 through May 30th, 2014.
Yeah, why should we just kind of give some people not quite familiar with.
Okay, residents need not take any special precautions due to the safety of BTI and because the application will occur directly over the salt marsh and not residential areas. For further information, please contact Bill Mahaffey, District Supervisor, Northeast Massachusetts Mosquito Control Wetlands Management District, 978-463-6630. Again, that's Bill Mahaffey, and that is District Supervisor, Northeast Massachusetts Mosquito Control, 978-463-6630. Thank you. So, moving on, out of general business, we'll move right into new business, and we have water treatment construction update. And with that, Ms. Egan, do you wish to?
Oh, okay, Mr. Chairman. To follow up to the discussion last week, we were unable to do the anticipated site inspection because the contractor had indicated that was not a good time for him. So instead, I met with Building Inspector Ken Ward, Fire Chief James Broderick, the Treasurer Karen Summit, Water Commissioner Stuart Dalzell, John Sikora, Clerk of the Works of Weston and Sampson, John Hargraves, Water Board Special Consultant, David Steele, the Weston and Sampson architect who developed these building plans, Selectman Robert Murray, Selectman Robert Snow. We reviewed the list prepared by RDK Engineers and Weston and Sampson, so we have two separate punch lists of items. At this point, we can't do anything until we get an occupancy permit, so it's really, the burden is on the contractor at this point to make sure that he addresses these, what we're calling safety issues in the building. And there were obviously a number of them. The RDK report was 14 pages long, and the Weston and Sampson report was almost 7 pages. So there are many, many outstanding items that need to be corrected, completed, or replaced before the building inspector and the fire chief will go in for an inspection. So anything now is premature. They have a number of things they have to address. Additionally, I was alerted by the clerk of the works that there would be another change order, though nothing has been submitted yet in writing for me to review. This involves an interlock at the tanks and a drain for an exhaust system. There has been no written response from Kinsman to John Sikora's letter regarding the substantial completion. However, according to Mr. Sikora, he observed that Kinsman did have contractors in working on fire protection, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical work. So they are working apparently on punch list items. So it's a day-by-day issue. The membrane is offline, so we are concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see what happens, within the next week or so.
Any comments from the board?
No, it does sound better than it did a week ago, though.
Yes. It does.
Yes.
Thank you for your hard work, Debbie. I know.
You're welcome. It's a team effort, because I work with a wonderful team here, and Karen has been, instrumental in keeping things going too. So we will stay on top of it. We are holding the line that Kinsman, is asserting that he's at substantial completion, and we emphatically say, no, you're not. No, you're not. So that's our position at this point.
I know you put many hours into this, and it's a very difficult situation that we're all in, but you've led the way, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, moving on to new business. Number 2, request from SBA to install 3 additional antennas existing location at 467 Haverhill Street. SBA is requesting to place 3 additional antennas on Smith Lane cell tower. Planning Board has reviewed the request and has determined that there is no need to modify the existing plan. Therefore, the Board of Selectmen can vote to authorize Debbie to sign the building permit application. And just as a disclosure, I used to work for Verizon in the landline side of the business, on the Fios side. So and this is the cell side of the business, just as a disclosure. So, with that, we need to,
If there would be a vote, the Board of Selectmen's the landlord, so the landlord just needs to sign off.
Does this result in additional tax money for us, or?
I'm not sure. This is a technological upgrade, as far as I understand, for these antennas. They're not co-location. So if it was a competitor, like, another cell company locating, then there would be.
Right.
But
Thank you.
they are SBA, and SBA took over the Sprint lease. They're managing the tower for Sprint.
so we need to vote on this?
Vote to authorize me to sign the building permit application. Ken has reviewed it, the planning board's reviewed it. So I just wanted to make sure that the Board of Selectmen wasn't signing off on a building permit application for a property that had a recorded site plan on it that had been approved by the planning board without their ability to review it, and maybe they would have some issues, but they apparently don't.
So have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's 29 after the hour, we have time for one more. New business number 3, request from SBA to refund balance of annual cell tower payment. Debbie has reviewed this with the town council, and under the terms of the lease, SBA is entitled to refund to the rental payment, which is paid in a lump sum at the start of the upcoming lease year. SBA is requesting a refund of $12,904.67, which reflects the refund for approximately 5.5 months. The lease year runs from October 2013 to September 2014. Tower was decommissioned in April. Debbie is requesting that the board issue a refund after she reviews the breakdown of the amount requested. She has requested additional information from SBA. So, need a vote from the board?
Yeah, so just to, this was a follow-up item. We did want to make sure, this was the monopole, the 80-foot monopole that was on Prospect Hill that was dismantled, removed, decommissioned back in April. So the terms of that lease did require a refund of payment. They paid a lump sum at the beginning of their lease year. They're looking for payment. I just wanted a little bit more breakdown. My calculations show this is correct, but I had asked for it. So we're obligated to refund this. And I'm asking for the board to approve that as long as the amount doesn't increase. So I just wanted to look at the calculation a little bit more on the exact days in April on how they broke that out.
So,
I'll give you the motion, Mr.
have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it is now 7:30, let's go back to,
Mr. Chairman, could the board please take up old business number 7? That requires a notary, and I have Karen O'Donnell on standby
certainly.
to do that
Okay, let me
before the night
find-
gets away and
where's
she's
this
leaving
number
at
7?
8.
It's way down the bottom. Okay. Signed division. Lost here. Okay, signed Division of Fisheries and Wildlife Settlement Document for Salt Marsh Parcel. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote and sign the acceptance for full settlement of the Salt Marsh tax title parcel is selling to the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. The board signature needs to be notarized, so with that, we need to,
So I've been working with the town council on this. This was drafted by Fish and Wildlife. This is the follow-up from the town meeting vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to sell that tax title piece of salt marsh land to Fisheries and Wildlife for
we
$24,000.
need to vote again on this?
the board needs to vote, even though you did vote
need to-
in concept back last fall, I believe, November. I would have you vote to sign now the acceptance of full statement document as presented before you and to be notarized by Mrs. Nicholson, O'Donnell Nicholson.
Okay.
I'll give you the motion, Mr.
Have a
Chairman.
motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The 19th.
19th.
Am I good? I know the date.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if Mrs. Egan doesn't mind, would it be possible to take up new business number 4 for the highway surveyor, so he could,
Certainly.
he's waiting for that, and we may have a lengthy
I was afraid of
discussion
that.
with Mrs. Egan, so.
Okay, update on Mass DOT Winter Rapid Recovery Road Program. Paperwork has been filed with the Mass DOT pursuant to requirements of the Winter Rapid Recovery Program. The town is eligible to receive $35,560 in funds to repair the damaged sections of 133. The Highway Department has hired a company which will begin work in June.
So basically, just like you gentlemen said, we received word from the state aid office to commence work. We've scheduled with the company that came in with the lowest bid, and right now it's tentatively looking like June 2nd, probably just pending any weather, but as of right now, we're hoping at the very beginning of June to get started out there. We'll be cutting certain areas that are potholed really bad, around the manhole covers, drains and stuff like that. And they will be cutting, removing the bad areas, and we will be relaying those areas with fresh hot top. Hopefully just to make the road a little smoother, you know, for the short term. And we'll have it done probably within a couple weeks and once we start.
Good.
That's
That's what we're
good,
hoping for, as long as Mother Nature cooperates as usual.
because we do have a deadline of September,
Yes, yeah, we're
September
very well
1st.
aware of that.
Yeah, actually September 30th.
Yeah.
Does that include there's a number of water shut-offs that are up by Skips and up by Dodge Road that are really,
Those are,
I drive over them on the bus and it shakes my bones.
yes, those are right on top of the list. I gotta contact the water department about getting some rises for those gates.
Okay, because they're probably the worst ones on the
Yeah,
road.
that
actually.
was the biggest problem we found this winter. We get the phone calls and
Yeah.
it was just one of those things, unless we completely capped over the water gates, there was really no fixing that problem out there. But I really have to say that I can't really take much credit for this. Ron Keefe really put in the effort for this, and it comes in as me taking the credit now, but Ron really did most of the work on this.
Somehow, Pat, I think it was a joint effort.
It was, but he
really
still
do.
owes his due as well.
No, I understand, and you're right, he absolutely does, but it certainly was a joint effort. And
Yeah.
I, as a selectman, certainly appreciate that cooperation between you two guys and got this thing going like this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your hard
Very
work.
definitely.
I have one question. Bradford Street, the catch basin on Bradford Street.
That'll be either being started tomorrow or Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Okay,
We wanted to get the common done first.
sure.
We have quite, I shouldn't say a lengthy list, but a list of stuff that we're looking to get done this week.
That just seemed to
before.
happen the last week, right? Just started.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks. Sometimes when
Okay.
winter lets go and the spring rains come
Yeah.
in, they all just kind of start letting go. So we have a few that we need to take care of in town, but that one is at the top of the list. We want to get that done before.
Yeah, I noticed people are swinging over a little
Yeah.
bit more into the center lane,
Yeah.
and they, come back. Okay, so
That
this.
problem will hopefully alleviate itself
Okay,
in the next couple of days.
super.
Anything else?
Anything else, gentlemen? Patrick, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, congratulations.
Yep, pleasure as always.
We'll be seeing a lot of you.
Oh, yeah. You can't miss me. Thank you.
We know,
Have a good night.
we know where you are.
Yes.
We know where you live.
Okay. All right, moving on to new business. Oh, well, wait a minute. I'm sorry, you have to go back to appointments. Jump the gun here. I think after all these 3.5 years, I'd have this down by now, wouldn't you? No, not really. All right. We have an appointment with Town Administrator Deborah Egan on performance evaluation. The last performance appraisal was conducted in April 2013. Since that time, I have worked on the following projects: purchase of the Girl Scout land property, Town Hall clock restoration, Town Hall annex exterior restoration, Town Common tree purchasing and planting project, development of Brad Street active recreation parcel, provided assistance during during the town planner vacancy, developed a capital plan with the capital planning team, continued to work with the fiscal team in developing a balanced budget. I am currently working on the following: Town Hall window project phase 2, Town Hall first floor renovation, RFQ for the elevator, Girl Scout land survey work, self-help application, and other purchase requirements, assisting the water department during superintendent vacancy. So
Just
with
to add
that,
a comment before we get started.
Certainly.
The RFQ is for the elevator for the Town Hall Annex.
Town Hall Annex.
Architectural services, so we have to hire an architect.
Right.
Yep, yeah. Okay,
For the countless hours that you serve the board.
yes. So what we have to do, we have to go through and do the evaluation. Ms. Egan is asked
So
to have it done in
I would
open
request
session.
that the board actually, well, you have to conduct the performance
Yep.
appraisal in open session. I am asking that you also complete it in open session, and therefore, it's not shielded under the public records law.
So, with, as you can see, as we go through, we'll start with number 3. And so we have E for excellent, G for good, S for satisfactory, F for fair, unsatisfactory is U. Okay? And with that, we'll go start with job knowledge. The employee possesses clear understanding of the responsibilities and tasks he or she must perform. Any comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman, one only has to be in here during the week and see the number of people that come into this office and request the town administrator for information and clarifications and information and so on and so forth, as well as I think every one of us who needs or requests information. She certainly has the knowledge that we use on a weekly and daily basis. And I don't think we can. I don't recommend doing anything but excellent. I mean, I don't just see that there's anything that if she doesn't know the answer, she certainly is very diligent in coming up with it, contacting the correct people. So I would recommend an excellent rating.
I would support Selectman Peterson's evaluation as chairman of the 375th, that I found that I could go to Debbie and get any information that I needed and ask any questions, gets the valuable insight into planning our events and to get help for lining up things on the common and getting our events squared away. So I fully support Selectman Peterson's evaluation.
Any other comments?
I have to agree.
Oh,
No, go ahead, John.
Go ahead, Bob.
Jim.
I have to agree. I mean, I know that from my personal experience dealing with Debbie, she's kept me out of a lot of trouble through the years here. If I have a question, I ask her, and she makes sure that I'm set straight. So, and I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you.
Jack?
I totally agree. The years I've been on, come in and ask Debbie a question, and if she don't know it right then, she gets back there in a hurry with an answer. So I credit her with an excellent performance on that.
I have to say this office runs like a well-oiled machine. It is just to sit here and to watch people come and go, and everything is either answered or addressed. It is, again, like I say, it's a well-oiled machine, and to sit in this office and to watch the operation is good management. And I got a degree in good management, so I can say that. So you run a very good operation. So I have to say, excellent. Okay.
Just to add one quick note, Mr. Chairman, in watching her take over as temporary water superintendent, that position, and to bring some expertise and some, what seems to be some order to that department at a time when things are very difficult, obviously, with the water treatment plant and the turnover of personnel and temporary people that they've had over there. And she's done an outstanding job that I don't even know how we can reward her for that. And that's on top of everything else that she's done. She took on that responsibility, and once again, she comes up with the answers, and she has the knowledge, and she really pushes to get things done correctly. That's one thing we can depend on, is that we may not like the answer she gives us all the time, but she gives us the correct information and lets us know when we're right and when we're wrong. She's doing the same thing with the water board, and I think it's really, she's an asset to the town and the community and deserves to be commended.
I agree, Mr. Peterson.
Job performance.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I think we just need to look at one area of this past year's work that both the administrator and the town hall employees have done, and that's town meeting.
Yes.
I mean, the job performance is quantitative, it's the neatness, thoroughness, accuracy, and overall quality of the employees' work. We got through that town meeting. It's been the smoothest one I have been to for an awful long time. And it's because of the job performance of both the administrator and the employees of this town hall.
There is a tremendous amount of prep work before we go to town meeting. And to watch this for 8 weeks or so before town meeting, I go back to like a well-oiled machine. It is, the operation here is beyond words. It just goes so smoothly, and we get into town meeting, and I think you all saw it this past town meeting. It just went so smoothly, and I just can't praise you enough for your work. And it's your organization skills.
We have a great team of people, and when you work and you collaborate and you sit at the table with your colleagues here that have different, that bring different ideas to the table, they have different jobs that they do, and we bring it all together, we can get things done. And we have a wonderful group of people. We're dedicated, putting time in above and beyond their regular jobs. I can't say enough. With the water department transition in many areas there, we thankfully have the treasurer's office to help. So we all work well together, and I think it shows. You get a lot done when you work in a team.
Any other comments on job performance?
It's a great team, and it's a good leader that leads the team to the performance that they have shown in the past and continue to show.
Just add, Mr. Chairman, that I attend the Finance Committee meetings. Larry's in the audience tonight like he usually is. And she really, it's one of those invisible things that she does to line up the information, the agendas, the budgets, the coordination, the information. She's here at the Finance Committee meetings, been here all year. I've been here as well as some other selectmen. And she's just, it makes that whole process move so much smoother than what it could be if, without her leadership, I think it wouldn't be as smooth. And with Larry taking over, with Jack Demento's having left the committee, he's done a good job with it, and working with Debbie and with other members of the committee. It's really added to the process for town meeting, as well as just the whole budgetary process with the fiscal team. Is just it's impressive, and I think it really shows how much effort and work is put in by her and by Amy and the other staff that she works with on a daily basis, and the input from members of the board who are always available to assist whenever she calls.
So everybody agree with the excellent rating?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, so job performance, excellent. Job productivity,
Be nice if she had a little more time to put an extra couple of nights in, but I guess she's she does too many already. I mean, what else can you say? She gets the work out. I don't know how she does it.
as chairman
Other
for
than
the
she's got
last
some-
3 years, I don't know how many Saturdays that she has called me and informed me about, and has been here in the office. So, I mean, it's just amazing how much work she does.
Just check the days and times of a lot of the informational emails she sends out.
That's right.
You go, "You still
Emails
there?"
come out at
Saturday night at 6 o'clock,
6
7
o'clock on a Saturday night.
or holiday, or,
Yeah.
it just,
So, dependability,
Yes, absolutely,
her middle name.
absolutely.
So, everybody agree? Excellent?
Yes.
Yes. Cooperation,
what else can you say? I mean, it just adds
Real
to the,
excellent performance.
adds to the list of stuff that just makes it work. It's a team effort, and her leadership and her cooperation with all of our various points of view and information is just tremendous.
initiative,
Same thing here, what else can you say?
Yeah,
She's got more
cooperation,
projects
initiative.
going,
Yeah.
and as one project falls to the side or gets completed, there's 3 more waiting to be done, and it's just,
so cooperation,
Yes.
initiative, everybody agree?
yeah,
Excellent?
absolutely.
Actually,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sitting here trying to think of something to say that would be negative, and I cannot do it.
I'm sure there is.
I just can't come up with anything. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think as the Selectman Mary said earlier, that we might not always get the answer that we're looking for, but we're getting the right information at
Yes.
the right time that is necessary that we have.
Absolutely.
Overall
Something
rating.
that,
Oh, I'm sorry, John, I didn't mean to cut you
that
off.
is, just terrific. It's vital to what we're doing, and it's correct. And we can always bank on that.
So, overall rating,
Excellent.
excellent?
Excellent.
Okay. Well,
There was that work safety.
Overall rating?
Work safety and environment.
work safety,
Work environment and safety.
well, many times I've gone into Debbie's office and said something, and she has talked me down from the ledge. She has,
Saved your life.
she has saved my life, and many times I have said things, she just goes, no, you can't do that. And she was right, so, and I was wrong, but again, you can't, I can't say enough. I've worked, 40 years I worked for the phone company, and 30 of those years I was in management, and this is the best run operation that I worked in an environment. And it's a lot of hard work that goes on in this office, and it's all, it emanates from Deb and her commitment to the town, her commitment to the employees in the town, and her commitment to the Board of Selectmen. And I think when we all talk from, I mean, I don't know what we would do without you. I mean, it's, and I really mean that. And we all, think feel the same way. So,
Absolutely.
we thank
Yep.
you for, you know,
Well, thank you.
this past
Thank you
year,
very
and it was a
much.
very difficult year, but it all worked out, and you'd see it in town meeting. And you know, personally, past 3.5 years, I've been on the Board of Selectmen as the chair here at this table, and you've made my job so much easier, and it was just a pleasure to be, you know, to lead the town and to lead this board, and you made it that easy to do. So again, thank you, Deb,
Oh,
personally.
thank you very much.
So with that, Amy, you get all that? Okay.
It's a great team and a great team leader.
Yes.
And great Board of Selectmen. You're working too.
Well, you keep talking us down from the ledge, so it's good.
Well,
Keep it up.
You're out there doing work, and that's, you know, it's part of it. I
Well.
think it's all together. We're all
Well, thank you. And,
working together.
And she's right. It's the team. She is the leader. And it's for the citizens of the community.
Right.
They're the beneficiaries of all of this work that goes on here. And because of Debbie and her team, we are where we are.
yes. Very much so.
Yep.
So, let's go on. We'll start with new business number 5, FY15 reappointments. Okay, Animal Control Officer and Alternate Inspector. First is Reed Wilson, 6/30/2015. Carol LaRock. Alternate Inspector, 6/30/2015. CPA Administrator Karen O'Donnell, 6/30/2015. Fence Viewer Richard Karam, 6/30/2015. Cannoneer G. Robert Merry, 6/30/2015. MBTA Advisory Board, 1 year. These were all 1 year. Robert Snow, 6/30/2015. Maybe we should stop there. We'll come back and do the Cannoneer and that, because
Do
we
you
have
can do
to.
the canon separately, and I'll just abstain.
And also the MBTA will separately. So, the first one, Animal Control Officer, CPA Administrator, and Fence Viewer. Can I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
September
Second.
2.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Cannoneer. Robert Murray, 2030.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
MBTA Advisory Board, 1 year. Robert Snow, 6/30/2015. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
Merrimack Valley Planning Commission, this is for Robert Snow, 6/30/2015, and Joseph Perry, alternate, 6/30.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Okay, Town Council, Gary Brackett and Lucas, 6/30/2015.
I'll make that motion.
I have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that was easy.
We missed 2,
Did we miss two?
First
I'm
two.
pretty sure. The CPA Administrator.
Oh, no, we did that all.
Those are all together.
We did all together.
1, 2, and 3, we did all as one
I
shot.
read them out and I said, we'll go back and do them. Okay?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I read a little too fast there. Okay. Discuss the 375th anniversary events and the use of the town common. The Board of Selectmen is in receipt of an application from the 375th Anniversary Committee to use the town common for the following dates and times as part of the 375th Summer Concert Series. June 28th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. July 12th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. July 26th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. August 9th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. August 23rd, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. September 5th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. September the 6th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. September the 7th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 375th anniversary would like to place a portable restroom on the town common for these events. We can either have it on the common from September for summer starting June 27th through September 8th, or pay to have it placed on an event-by-event basis. The cost is $60 for 28 days, or $60 per day. What would the board like to do?
Well, I'd like to make, if I could, make a comment before we get started.
Sure.
Or make a choice on the porta potties. We are encouraged by the committee has set up the dates. We will have concerts on the Common on starting on Saturday, June 28th, from 6 to 8 p.m., rain or shine, and they will run for 5 Saturdays every other week. And then on the September 5th, we will have a concert on Friday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. On Saturday, September 6th, I'd like to change the times on that from 11 to 5 o'clock approximately.
Which one is that, Joe?
September 6th.
September 6th. And
The
that is-
hours would be 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And on Sunday, September 7th, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. What we're planning on Saturday, September 6th, is to have the parade. We will have food on the Common, and then we will have the mural picture taken of the residents of the town, and then we're going to have a band on the Common. On Sunday, September 7th, we're planning on an ecumenical service, and we're planning on a band on the town Common and food. So we should have quite a celebration, and I think the committee has done an awful lot of work. We're hoping that we can get a few more contributions to help us line up some more bands and floats for the parade for September 6th. But it looks like we're going to have some fun.
Okay, good. So with that,
If I could
Again.
recommend on the portable restrooms for the town common, I would suggest having it brought in and for each date, June 28th, July 12th, 26th, August 9th, and 23rd, and then taken away, and then brought back for the weekend of September 4th through the 7th.
okay. So, again, you would go from, have it placed from June 28th until,
They'll be there on the 28th, taken away, brought back on the 12th, taken away, brought in on the
okay.
26th.
Now, it's the
Individual.
cost is $60 for a 28-day period and $60 per day.
Right. Donations will be taken care of. We have had a significant donation from the Institution for
Okay.
Savings to cover the concerts on the Common.
Okay, all right. So,
Is it gonna be one restroom, Joe, for each event, or are you having, like, on a certain events, are gonna have extra?
Is
One or
that
two,
per
or-
restroom?
It's per restroom that cost.
That's per restroom?
We will need more restrooms on the weekend
Right,
in September.
yeah.
so is that $60 per restroom per day?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, I would kind of agree with Joe that I think with all the work we're putting into the common, to have the restroom sit there all summer long is not gonna be too conducive to the looks of the,
Right.
of everything that's been done there, and to bring it in and take it out, I think even though it's a little
Okay.
bit more money, I think it's well worth it. Plus, it's not gonna get vandalized or damaged probably if we leave it out there all the time, something like
Right.
that.
okay.
Be playing games with it, I would
All right.
think.
So, with the caveat that Joe asked for, can I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion.
I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Just my suggestion that we find a spot that's probably not on the Independence Street side of the Common,
Right.
possibly
Correct.
down on towards this end only because of the funeral home.
Yes.
Correct.
That's,
Maybe back it up to the
Backstop,
backstop somehow,
yeah,
'cause you can maybe
backstop,
kind
yeah.
of secure it so it nobody tips it
Yeah.
over.
Right.
all
Right.
right.
So,
Joe, this, on this thing.
Okay, sign the MOA for the Mass Cops.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No.
The band's over.
No, the band will be in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we'll sign the MOA from Mass Cops. Okay. We've all read through it.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, there was one
Just
issue that I found.
one issue?
Yeah, and it's nothing, it's not a major one.
Okay.
I can't think. I don't remember. I wrote it down, but I didn't know it.
Was that a typo or?
Yeah, it was basically a typo. Yeah, it was just one.
I just got one question on the wages. Is that basically in line with all the other wages?
Yes, this was the last review that the board had on the wage proposal that I discussed with you during the negotiations.
Okay. Bob, do you?
I'm just trying to go in.
Okay, sure.
Look quick through here. I know it was on page 2. Yeah, it didn't jump out at me.
Okay. We're trying to find a typo.
Yeah, I don't see it jumping out.
Okay.
I mean, I can let the office know what I saw, and if they think it needs to be changed, that'd be
Okay.
something they can do. It may not even require anything, so.
Do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion, to accept the agreement between the town of Raleigh, Massachusetts, Coalition of Police Local 360.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Bob?
If I may make one comment that while we're signing the MOA, that I spoke to, excuse me, I spoke to Chief Barker today, and he agreed with me about having the details as needed for the concerts on the Common.
Excellent, Jim. Okay, Girl Scout land update. Deb, you want to give us the update on this?
Okay, we started the land surveying work immediately after town meeting. We had that appropriation, so I authorized the contract with Donahoe Land Surveying, so they're underway. That's a huge undertaking. As you know, the parcel is complicated as it was compiled by purchasing different sections to make it what it is today. So that's well underway. On the open space plan that we need to have on file with the state in order to be eligible for many grants that the state office, especially the self-help grant, which we're working on, to be used if we get the grant award for the purchase of the land, use some of those proceeds. Brent and the consultant Nellie Aikenhead have all the various sections assembled, and the content has been edited and revised. So Brent has tentatively set the date for the public hearing on the open space plan for May 27th at the Concom meeting, as the Concom is our acting open space committee. He actually showed me the binder. It was hard to believe we're finally at that point. It's been a lot of work to make up for all those years and putting it together. So Nellie has done a fabulous job, and Brent, of course, was the key player in getting that to where it is right now. So now the next step is the self-help grant application. So this is a very comprehensive state application. It's a huge undertaking, once again. So I obtained a proposal from Nellie Aikenhead, who also does this, as well as open space plans, to work on the application, and she has a proposal of $3,500. Her work will not include the required maps that we need to produce, but the Greenbelt has offered to do that at no charge. So I would need the Board of Selectmen to vote to authorize me to contract with Nellie.
I'll give you that motion, Mr. Chairman. if you
I'll
want to
second it.
Take it at this time.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, on another note, because we are using CPA funds to purchase the land, the Board of Selectmen and the Conservation Commission must put a conservation restriction on the open space portion of the land. So the self-help grant application, which we're working on, that has to be filed in about a month, requires the filing of a draft conservation restriction with the application. So the logical entity is to have Greenbelt hold that CR out of any agency or organization. I know we have, right now, the Brad Street open space is held by the Autobahn. We're actually finalizing that right now. But the Greenbelt has been so instrumental and knows the property better than I think any of us that have been out there so many times walking it. So it would be that they hold the CR, so what I need to do now is have the Board of Selectmen authorize me to start working and as one of the components of the application on the draft CR. And Nellie can work on that. That's actually part of her scope of services to the town for the self-help grant application, is to work on a draft CR. But I just need the board to approve that and to improve engaging the Greenbelt to be the holder of the CR. So that's how these things that are coming up that are just, they're time sensitive as part of this whole project. So I ran that by Brent. He agreed with me. He said this is the same situation as we have with the Brad Street property, and we actually have to have that expedited and on file, or we won't be eligible for this grant for the Girl Scouts. We will have to talk about a similar endowment at the fall town meeting for Greenbelt, just as we do with the Autobahn, that covers their costs to do work. They go out and check things, and so there will be some similar to the Brad Street. So that's where I was working on today. So I actually would need the selectmen to act on that fairly quickly so we can start working on that. And also the conservation restriction wouldn't cover the camp in the house. We would follow actually the Georgetown model that.
Are we looking at keeping some land available for recreation beyond the camp and the house, or how, in other words, or is that entire parcel going to be strictly conservation land exempted?
I think that we should have some discussions, maybe if I can bring in the team. I know Bob and Dave, you worked on this, on a hands-on approach. If we have a meeting with David Santamena and go over that, over what the overlay would be of that section, that would be a good idea with Brenton at the meeting to figure out what sections wouldn't be subject to the CR. Obviously, the caretaker's house and the camp, but how far do you want to go, and do you want to exclude maybe the ball field that's in the middle of the property or something like that?
I mean, the ball field is a good piece of land to keep as open recreation. The rest of it is pretty hilly and mostly wooded, so I think we need to take a good look at that and decide if we can, as Dave suggested, carve out a small piece or a piece of that can be active recreation.
And some of the trails, I want to keep maybe keep the trails as recreation, and some way work around that other the land it goes through.
Right. No, I agree with you, Bob. It lends itself very well to walking trails, and I think, as you suggested, even in the wintertime, is maybe cross-country skiing. Would be nice out there.
Or it might be nice too, something close to in other words, depending on how we carve out the camp portion, to have an attached piece there, so that if we want to do something with it, maybe in conjunction with the camp or whatever, in other words, give us a little bit of flexibility. I realize, and I agree with it, the land's kind of rough, but maybe not so much for ball fields as it would be to, for the scouts to go out there and do some stuff, or those kinds of things. So it isn't all just conservation land.
No.
We'd have to take a look at it, I think.
Well, I think it would be good to have a meeting, because I know with this CR, there are certain permitted activities that can be specified
And
that
I think we
are
need-
relate to passive recreation, certainly like the hiking trails or horseback riding. It's usually, they do that on the conservation land at Brad Street. So that I would not call as active, organized recreation, like the ball fields are and things like that, where you have a,
Some of those trails, I mean, we walk through, they have to be cut back. And
yeah, but
be
I think that's
addressed.
fine. The trails, like Brent actually does a significant amount of work on the Brad Street property, maintaining the paths, and he's out there for that purpose.
And I'd like to hear what Greenbelt has to say as far as
Mhm.
what their thought is as to how this will be controlled.
Yes.
And, you know, Greenbelt says, look, this is what we think you guys can do out there, and you can do this, this, and this, and if that's what we think we want, then we could go along with it. But kind of figure out what Greenbelt, what their restrictions might be.
So why don't I set up a meeting with Bob and Dave and David Santamena and Brent, and we can go over that, you know, at this point, to see what the issue, you know, what would be in the CR, to do an overlay of what's covered under it on the parcel.
Do we have, when we had the land appraised, I know it was difficult on some of the drawings of the topography, do we have some larger maps? So that, in other words, we looked at these small maps that are this size, and it's very hard to delineate what the topographic elevations and stuff are. We could, I don't know if there's
Well,
something.
maybe Greenbelt.
I assume there'd be something available that we could, you know, and if we have that meeting to kind of get an idea. I mean,
Sure.
we obviously don't want to look at putting a ball field on top of the hill or
I
something.
think Brent.
Something like that. Is there something, and I'm looking more myself at something close to the Girl Scout camp up near the street that we could reserve for hopefully some kind of active recreation, and then most of the backland or whatever. But, you know, depending on how the topography works out, but if we could
Okay.
get a
Yeah, I'll
better,
see if I can
a
get some
clearer, a larger map of the parcel as they delineated it, maybe that would probably be helpful to look
And I
at.
know there are some tent platforms and things down there and opening areas that they use for camping, and even some of those have water piped to them. So
Yes.
we'd certainly want to look
Yeah.
at those and say, okay, here's a place where the Boy Scouts could go in, or the
Yeah,
Cub
but-
Scouts particularly, where it's a nice protected area.
This would be an ideal area for
And spend the
the
weekend
Scouts,
there.
Girl
Yeah.
Scouts, Boy Scouts, or
Yeah.
other groups to use as for camping purposes.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. I just want to make sure that we're not just putting it all. We've got
No,
a lot
absolutely
of
not.
conservation land.
It's not, no, we're following the model you saw in Georgetown, where they had a camp set up there of some type. But, you know, at this point, we do have to have the CR, and if Greenbelt's gonna be making the maps and everything, the idea is that they would hold the CR.
Right, that's fine.
Because I would have to hire a company to do those maps.
Right.
But I think that these details are worked out, can be worked out and then brought back to a full board after the team here has looked at that and reviewed it and sat down and agreed on what the overlay will be for the CR. So I was anticipating that was gonna come up. I just didn't realize at this very moment,
Yeah, we-
trying to apply for this application,
Well,
we have
knew it would
numerous
come eventually
things to
anyway,
get.
but we didn't realize it had to be before we got the.
I didn't know it had to be part, and it's only draft. A draft CR has to be submitted with the self-help application, and we're working for this because it has to be filed in June.
We should be able to meet fairly quickly, too.
I think
it's
David
a big problem.
Santamena is available a lot, so I think
We're all
he's,
pretty much available, so.
I think that if we leave it like that, if the board would consider in concept, going forward with the CR with Greenbelt, you know, pending any issues that come up,
Right.
just so I can have them start working.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't,
No,
we're not
I-
meeting till June 2nd, I don't want to lose 2 weeks, I
No, if you
can't.
need a motion, I'll give you a motion to move ahead. It's just a matter of us trying to delineate if we can.
Just
Yeah.
figuring out what
Fine lines.
what their thoughts are on
Yeah.
it, and what they.
Yeah,
would allow
that's
us
why
to
we'll
do.
have the meeting with the land purchasing team here and go through those details with Brent and David, and then we'll come back to the board. But in the meantime, like the standard CR language and stuff that we need to work
Oh,
to.
absolutely, go ahead and,
One of the cuts
my motion will cover whatever you need, well. make the
Okay,
motion.
so,
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion, have a second. Any discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
And then just one other point that I wanted you to be aware of, as part of the self-help grant, I had to hire another appraisal to review the appraisal that the town paid for by Landvest. So I have Bill LaChance, Peterson LaChance has done a lot of work for the town. They did the Bradstreet House and other places. So he needs to do that. He's agreed that he can have it completed in 4 weeks. It will cost $3,400. So we issued the purchase order. If you want
Need
to
a motion, or you all
take a
set?
vote to ratify that action
Sure.
that I
I'll
have
give
to
you the
take.
motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion,
Second.
I have a second, a discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Deb. Okay, moving on to old business number 4, discuss Memorial Day ceremonies. We need to let the VFW know which selectmen will attend the Memorial Day ceremonies. Also, Bob Murray is finalizing details for the Civil War rededication. He needs to work this out with Kenny Gary. So with that, who can be there on Memorial Day?
I,
Yeah, I plan on being.
Bob?
I am.
Jack?
Yeah, I'll be.
Okay, so all of us will be there. Okay, and Bob, you're still working on
I'm
it
still
with
working
Kenny.
with Ken. I tried to get him over the weekend, and he hasn't returned my call yet, but I'm gonna continue to try to get
Okay.
hold of him.
All right, so we're all gonna be there. Okay, moving on. General business number 5.
Mr. Chairman, as long
Yes.
as we're here, I don't think we've done this before, but we all know that Mr. Hart, the Veterans Agent,
Yeah.
recently passed away. There was a tremendous obituary for him in the paper today. He normally speaks at the Memorial Day service, and I would just ask that as part of that service that maybe the chairman can make a brief statement.
Yes,
regarding Terry's,
I think that's
service
very,
to the town, and I mean, he's just been a tremendous asset to all of us, and I know I've called him on behalf of veterans in town, and my wife, who runs the housing authority, she's used him many, many times, and was currently using him for some veterans issues that people need help. I just think if we could make not an elongated thing, but a brief moment of silence or some other recognition of the work he's done.
definitely. I
Credit
think
he's given us.
Terry went out of his way in so many of these surrounding towns to help the veterans. And if you met Terry, you know what we're talking about. He was just a ball of energy, and was taken from us way too young. He's only 65 years old, and he looked the picture of health.
And forever picture him in his bright white dress uniform on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I was
making his
looking at
statements,
last
and
year's
very,
Memorial
very
Day
impressive.
pictures.
The guy was just fantastic, and he's a people person who feel the need, and he's going to be difficult to replace. That's for
He
sure.
sure is.
Yes.
I mean,
I just don't think you realize how much paperwork is involved in his job.
no,
I mean,
people
we're
don't.
talking about case management. It's like social work. There's a number of different needs, from operating budget to insurance to fuel costs. I mean, he has to break out the needs for each person that comes in there. And I can tell you, since I've been working here, his caseload has grown exponentially. It's amazing. And Georgia, his assistant now, is running around trying to do that. I offered to help her, and I know the selectmen would, just going to the other town to deliver the invoices that have to be processed.
Terry
Because she's got a huge
signed
district
Documents every day.
every day. And we saw the end result of it, but to start to have a case file for each person and their needs, and adjusting it for income changes and things like that, and then filing all the forms with the state for the reimbursement for each of the towns in the district. I don't know how he did it with just he and Georgia.
Yesterday, my daughter was in Arlington National Cemetery, and she just texted me, and she said, "Do we know anybody who's buried here?" And I was kind of like, took my breath away, because Terry's going to be buried there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's going to, did they say when he was going to be?
No, I think a later. I don't
At a
recall
later date.
if it actually gave a date, but I
I
don't think they've scheduled an
They're gonna
actual
have the
date yet.
memorial
but-
service,
Yeah.
the 24th, I believe.
There's a local memorial service, and then at some later date. I'm sure there's a schedule that they do for Arlington National Cemetery, but him and his wife will be laid to rest there, because she passed away a year and a half ago, so. And so he took care of his wife, who had a long illness.
He was going to bring
As
her
well
ashes.
as all the veterans things, all at the same time. And
He was bringing her ashes down in August, and now they'll both be laid to rest.
I mean, it's just an incredible job. And
If you haven't, talk to you people at home, if you haven't read the obituary of Terry Hart, go to the newspaper and read it. It is,
quite a man.
he's quite a man. He really was. And he was a hero because he rescued some people right off the New England coast here when he was a young ensign, I believe. And he wore a medal for valor and in the Coast Guard. Those, if you know any Coast Guardsmen, they kind of fluff it off as, every time they jump into the sea or they go out in a helicopter. I can't say enough about the Coast Guard. They really are brave individuals, and they go to war against the weather, and that's who they really fight. And besides all the other things that they do, they've been called up, and during World War II they were running the landing craft, and they were patrolling the coastline. Coast Patrol. And Terry was one of those guys, and he rose in the ranks from an ensign. He was a graduate of the Coast Guard Academy, and he was a captain, retired, 30 years of service, and I can't say enough. Just to be in the room with Terry was just, you could feel his energy.
The thing with him too is, I mean, he probably wasn't trained to do what he was doing. I mean, he was a veteran, retired military person, and he probably volunteered or put in for the job. And I'm sure everything he did was on the job training, so he picked it up and developed it and worked with it, and it wasn't something he went to school for a month to learn how to do that, and to be a people person and to deal with veterans and those of us that are veterans and know the myriad of diseases and illnesses and stress syndromes and all these other things that veterans today deal with, and in the last few years with Iraq and Afghanistan, et cetera, I'm sure the caseload for him has increased tremendously, and the homelessness and the health care. I mean, it's just, and he learned to deal with it on his own, I'm sure, on the job training, and he certainly, we can't say enough about it.
And trying to get through the bureaucracy of working with the government, the federal government, is just incredible. As we're reading the newspapers, but it is...
never enough money. There's never enough money.
Oh, there's never enough money.
Never.
No, not for the vets.
So that would be great if we could do
So we can do something.
recognize him.
Okay, number 5, vote to authorize the treasurer to borrow funds for capital items pursuant to the town meeting of 5/4/14. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to authorize the treasurer to borrow the funds authorized by Article 9 of May 5th, 2014, special town meeting, and to sign the paperwork
I'll
when it
give you
comes
that
in later
motion,
this
Mr.
week.
Chairman.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, all those in favor?
Aye. That's the fire truck.
No,
No, that's
No?
that's the capital planning, the
capital.
Oh, okay. Thank
capital
you.
article for the
Oh, what article?
That was the one that had a
Computers
list of all
and-
capital.
Computers, oh,
Yes.
yes.
they had the
Various
car and for the
vehicles.
vehicles and for the cemetery.
Computers for
commission, things like
second
that.
Okay, lift the hiring freeze for part-time secondary water operator position. FY15 Water Department budget has funding for a part-time secondary water operator position. The Water Department would like the position to be posted in anticipation of having it filled July 1, 2014. Can the board please vote to authorize Debbie to post the position?
That motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yeah, we did that last one. We'll do that. Okay, announcements. Finance Committee has 1 open seat, fence viewer, 2 positions, wood, lumber, bark inspector, and zoning board of appeals associate, 2 open seats. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's Office, 948-2372. 375th anniversary information events. Again,
Are on the Town of Raleigh website, and we will have concerts on the Common starting on June 28th, every other Saturday night.
battery recycling box located at the Town Hall Inn in the library. You have any double A's, D batteries, throw them in a plastic bag and drop them off here in the battery box. Don't throw them in landfills. We have a way to dispose of them. Okay, so bring them down here to town hall or in the library. Raleigh Food Pantry is in need of donations. Raleigh Food Pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, let's remember those less fortunate than we are, and just a reach out and helping hand can do wonders in the community. Water customers need to call Penachuk if you need them at 1-800-553-5191. Again, 1-800-553-5191 for this, for billing, payment, and customer service. Questions? Compact fluorescent bulbs may be recycled at the Raleigh Municipal Lighting Plant building. Okay. Light bulbs can be brought down during normal working hours. Put them in a plastic bag. And we're talking about the small bulbs, not the long fluorescent tubes. They will not take those. Okay, Memorial Day Parade is Monday, May 26th, starting at 1:30. We hope to see you. We always have a large turnout at the Memorial Day Parade, so please come out, and it's a day of remembrance, and let's make it what it used to be.
Mr. Chairman, this year we'll be rededicating the Civil War monument that is a 100th anniversary this year.
And we'll try to get up. I have a nice picture of Terry Hart. Deb, maybe we can get it up on the website. And it's in his full white uniform. And I took it last year. I should say my wife took it last year when Terry spoke. So maybe we can get that up on the website. Okay. And a personal note, I want to thank the board.
Larry has a question.
Oh, Larry, I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to mention that, I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but Fox 25 is coming to Raleigh on 8/22 as part of their zip trip.
When is it?
8/22.
August 22nd.
Right, and I don't know any details or where they're going to be or anything like
He'll
that.
probably want to talk to the chairman of the board at that time.
Probably so. They'll probably want to really mess up the common.
As long as they send VB, we'll be all set. I'm on a first-name basis with VB.
He interviewed you about the cannon
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
with Georgetown.
We
We
all
haven't
know.
got anything in. I am aware of it, but they haven't asked us
Okay.
for a site or anything. I presume they want to go to the common.
If we could put the cannon on the common, that would be great, just to give Georgetown a little shot of.
We have the cannon. I'll give you, by the way, the codes and the keys to the cannon, okay? So,
Okay.
as
Yeah.
the,
No, that'll be great. That'll be appreciated.
in case anybody tries to invade us. All right, just a personal note, I want to thank everybody on board members and colleagues. Okay, I worked with you the past several years as chairman of the board, and you were great, and you were always there. You had my back, and I want to give a deepest thank you. This, I think you all know. Dave, you sat here in the center seat. Bob, you sat here before. This is it can be precarious some days, but you were always there, and you had my back, and we're very lucky. We have a board of selectmen here that we all work as one and go forward. And again, I want to thank you all. Joe, you've been sitting to my right, and I'm a little hard of hearing, and I haven't heard a word you said in the last 3 years. But I will be moving to that seat next week, and I'll be able to hear you from now on. So that's good.
Well, Mr. Chairman, just be aware that now that you're going to have all this free time, we've got a list of projects that we're going to assign you. Spearhead for us.
Well, I got some books I want to read.
Go books. Forget the books.
But
Mr. Chairman,
Been a
I want
pleasure. Well,
well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm coming back next week. I'm telling you guys.
No,
It has been a pleasure
thank you for
working.
being
I want to
chair.
thank you for being the chair
Great
for the
job.
last, actually, I've been here 4 years, and I'm starting on my 3rd term. When you were here when I came here, you weren't the chairman at that time, but you became the chairman. And I appreciate the fact that you have done that for this time frame. I learned a lot just by kind of following in your footsteps, walking behind you and steering me in the right direction. And I certainly appreciate that very much.
Well, thank you, Bob. Those are kind words. And,
It's a difficult job. You get all the calls, you get all
It is.
the complaints, and dealing with the citizens and returning calls, and, I mean, those of us that have done it in the past are well aware of what it takes to be chair and to keep things running smoothly, and with the assistance of the office staff here and various other members, you know, it is a team effort, and
Geez, guys,
it's
I
worked
wish you'd
well.
told me this ahead of time.
We held back.
Well, as I always tell everybody, 40 years of irate customers at the phone company prepared me for this job. So,
You're probably right there.
Unfortunately, I only had 35 years.
so, anyways, it's been a pleasure to work with all the gentlemen, you know, sitting in the center seat. And again, thank you for, you know, Debbie, thank you so much. You know,
Thank you,
working with
Paul.
you know, daily,
It's
you know,
been-
in your office and
it's
listening to
been
me,
fun.
and all that you've done. So, again,
And I certainly look forward to continuing working with you. I really do.
I'll be sitting over there on the right again, so you'll know it's me. I'm over there.
Okay.
So, Joe, I'll say goodbye because you're moving over there. So, again, everybody, thank you so much, and don't forget to join us for the Memorial Day celebration. That is important. I think sometimes we get 300 or 400 people come out, so please come out and celebrate with us. Well, it's not a celebration, but a remembrance. Remember our those who have given everything so that we're free. And you've heard me speak before. It really, I took my trip to Normandy several years ago, and standing at the cemetery right above Omaha Beach, and to stand in that cemetery and see 9,600 of our fellow Americans buried there is, it just chokes you up. And this is very important for us all to come out and to remember their sacrifice, because we wouldn't have these freedoms that we have if it wasn't for them. So with that,
I'll
good night,
give a motion to
everybody,
adjourn.
and we'll see you next week. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night now. Thank you.